What?
Did you get to Roots Tech? Did you attend any of?
I had signed up for it, but we're tied up with so many other things I didn't get a chance to. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
What about you, Tom? Did you go?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I did all 3 days.
I was
did
there a
quite
lot.
few. Yeah, I was too. I was there quite a bit, at least half a day each day.
Yeah.
And then of course you can still see them.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I mean, they're still available until for a year, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
now the live presentations, at the main stage, I think end today.
Yeah.
But the other ones, the 1,500 or so presentations on various topics, I think are available for a year.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I signed up, so I should be able to go in and have a look at them.
Yeah,
I
you
did
just
too.
go
So I'll have
to
to check that out. Okay.
Yeah, you
Roots
just have to sign in with your family search,
Yeah.
credential.
Just go to Roots Tech 2021. Well, just Google that and you'll come up with the screen, and then you can go from there and put your ID in from family search, and you're there. You
Yep.
know.
Good.
And
So
I actually didn't listen to any of the main
I didn't
things.
either. I didn't
wasn't
either. I
interested.
didn't
They
see
didn't
anybody.
seem to be.
I didn't see anybody there I wanted to listen to. So I guess
Well,
what's
it
his
was
name?
cultural.
from-
It was all like music and cooking or something.
Yeah, Find Your Root. Who's the guy? I just
William.
can't remember his name from Find Your Roots. The professor. What the heck is his name? Anyway,
Henry
he
Louis
supposedly
Gates.
gave
Henry
a
Louis
presentation
Gates.
there.
Gates.
Yeah, Gates. There you go. Henry Louis Gates. I couldn't. He supposedly gave one there, but I haven't found him yet. But he must be there
No.
somewhere.
Did anyone catch the Tony Shalhoub program?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yes,
It was fun.
yes, I did. It was interesting.
Yeah. And
I was
he
hoping
is-
for more
He did
pictures
well.
of Green Bay, but he didn't have too many.
But if you start Googling it, you'll find stories about it.
Mhm.
How he has Packer tickets and 8 Packer tickets still.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, and it talks about the Sarujis, who are also a Lebanese family that settled in Green Bay.
That's the one that has the chocolate, right?
Candy store, yeah.
Yeah,
Store.
yeah.
Became
The candy
Cerruti.
stores, yeah. I didn't put that together until they said that name. And I thought, wait a minute, is that the chocolate candy stores?
Yeah, and Joe
Yeah.
Cerruti in De Pere is very big in the De Pere Historical Society. He's one of the ringleaders down there. They've won a lot of awards for the programs they do, identifying people in photographs. So
This is in Appleton?
in De Pere, near
Oh,
Green
De
Bay,
Pere.
in De Pere. They have a shop in De Pere. I think that's where they got their start as a
That's
company.
right down, just not too far from the bridge.
Ah,
It's my hometown.
I think I've been in De Pere once.
Yeah.
I have a
It was
daughter
by
there,
accident.
there all the time.
That's where I grew up, right near St. Norbert Abbey.
Did you know the Garner family there, Laura?
Garner,
Garner.
the name sounds familiar.
Bill Garner was in Dan's law class,
In which class? In,
my husband's law class.
oh, okay. Yeah, my dad was a lawyer too. So
Huh.
he was a lawyer in Green Bay?
Well, he then Bill went out to Washington, D.C. I'm not sure where else, but it was a big family in De Pere.
Yeah,
Who was your dad, Laura?
Arthur Cafton. And we had, my uncles were lawyers, and my grandfather was a lawyer with John Reynolds from Door County.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, back
Really?
in the turn of the century, they both
I was
went.
gonna
to
say, that's a
law
long time ago.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting history. But I found them in the newspapers. They would come up here to do cases, but they were in Green Bay. And then he later quit and went into government. He ran for government. And then I think one of his sons was, the Supreme Court justice.
Was that the Toby Reynolds? Was he one of
I
that
forget
family?
which one was which, but the later Reynolds. But my grandfather was partners with John Reynolds around
Huh.
Okay.
the early 1900s. So,
Cool.
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're all here. We'll get started. A number of you went to Roots Tech and wanted to tell us about it. And apparently we can still get in and see some of the videos. So who wants to speak up and tell about what impressed you?
Go ahead, Gretchen.
Well, I want a couple of things. They have something called a demo theater that was running. It was like 10 hours, and it's a series of little snippets of many products and research strategies and some things put together by individuals. Fascinating. I would just sit there and listen for an hour or so, and then there would be a bigger demonstration of that particular product or whatever as part. You could do it through the expo, which is, I finally stumbled on the expo, and then you could get a longer description of it, or they may be a presenter in one of the sessions that you could choose. Most of the sessions were short. They were like, I don't know, 10 minutes or 12 minutes or 20 minutes. They were not long presentations. I hardly found any longer ones. I don't know, Tom, what your experience was, but that was kind of good because you got a fairly good presentation within that short period of time.
Yes. What I found was they had a guide me grouping that those tended to be more the overview of, say, a topic. Like you're saying, they were shorter, although there was information in there, but they tended to be shorter. But if you dug down a little deeper in that and went beyond the prescribed guide me sessions, they got longer. They got up to, I think, 45 minutes on some of them, and some of the really deep ones. Or you could go up to the session tab, and you could do a search. You could put in anything you wanted in there. Well, DNA was a guide me one, but then say you put DNA in there, they may come up with 25 different sessions that you could go to, that you could listen to, not go to, but listen to. And they were anywhere from, like you say, 10, 15, 20 minutes, or up to, well, I think the longest one I listened to wasn't on DNA, it was on something else, but it was like 45 minutes. So I found it amazing. It almost makes me want to drop my ancestry $400 a year and go with Family Search. I tell you, listening to Family Search, of course, it was sponsored by Family Search.
Yeah.
But I tell you, it was pretty good. I thought, well worth it.
Well,
Of course, it was free.
some of them, for example, the New England Historic Genealogical Society, they had some really interesting lectures, but what they did, they'd start you out and you'd watch for like 20 minutes, and then they'd say, for the rest of this, go to the website.
Yeah.
Of course, now I actually belong to that, so that wouldn't have been hard, but you would have, otherwise you have to pay, I would think, if you went to the website.
I don't know.
Because they're a subscription.
Yeah,
They
They
don't give you much.
They
They
are.
don't give you much free. I have a subscription there too, and they don't give much free.
Yeah. I just have the free one. I haven't signed up yet for the because I really don't have any New
I
England.
think it's only like $80 a year or something.
It's
to have
not
a
too
free-
bad. Yeah, Dan's relative. I mean, Dan's 3 sides of him come from New England, so it's worth it for me to subscribe to that.
But I think I thought it was very worthwhile, and really any topic related to genealogy and family history research or presentations or whatever, I thought it was, very worthwhile, to sit there. They all were very good presentations. The ones that were put on by Family Search people, of course, were related to Family Search, and I found out a great deal of information on how to use Family Search better than I've ever used. Just going to that search screen and putting stuff in, that's not the way to go by any means.
So
There's much better ways of finding stuff that I now know about, which I didn't know before. So I found it very worthwhile, and it's free. So,
and they have the Family Search wikis. There are
Right.
several sessions on those. They're excellent. I think we talked about one of them last time. But
Yeah. Yeah.
That whole structure is really good.
So that is another
So-
aspect that's very good. I have started using that and have found a lot of information on that. So,
Tracking down things that you wouldn't find just going to Ancestry.
yeah, well, the wiki points you into really into specific things that don't show up on just the general search that you do. Like, for example, I wanted to find out more about a county in Ohio that I'd never heard of, but my wife has an ancestor from there. And, I think we looked at it last week, but, I pinpointed virtual, not virtual, marriage, death, and birth records, vital statistics, and it gave me the information on, which ones were available when, and then it had it all sorted, and some of them were indexed and some were not. And then it also gave, I went to the probate, and that also was, it was very focused on what exactly I wanted, rather than having to go through the main screen, and then try to figure out where you want to be, so I found it was very worthwhile. And I'm sure that I'm hoping anyway that the German one is Germans are just as good when I start doing that. Did you find that true, Gretchen, with your Swedish?
The Scandinavian one is excellent, just excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it goes down to the parish level, and you get maps, and you get links to the records, and you get information about the little villages and the names of all the farms, and and so
humongous amount of information, and they will refer you to Ancestry if they find what you've asked for they feel is over an Ancestry, or Ancestry has records you should look at. They'll tell you that, and you can go over there, go to Ancestry if you have an account, because it's not free.
Well, they have groups for like Germany, if you're researching it, and you can ask questions, and somebody will dig it out for you and get back, or they'll even do the translations if you're having trouble with finding cities or whatever. So there's so many things. I went on a couple of their virtual classes for family search, and like Tom said, they're just the stuff that's there if you figure out how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what you're talking about, Steve, is the communities. I mean, they have a community.
What I was looking for,
yeah, and
those are all in the wiki. Those communities,
the connection.
I think you can get to them through the through the wiki, but you don't have to. It's actually on the first page. If you go down, I think it's on the first page. If you go down on the bottom right, I can't remember right now, but I think it's on the bottom right. They have a help screen and a community, and what else do they have?
On the bottom of the family search itself?
Right.
Yeah, family search itself. When you log in, after you log in, you get a screen, which is their main screen, okay? And it has first, if you have a tree, or if you put stuff in the tree, up in the upper left right is any hints that they've come across, okay? And then I think the next screen, I'm trying to remember this, the next box, if you will, on the right, gives you all the people that you've talked to, that you've looked at lately.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. And then there's another one in there, and then I can't remember what the last one is, but there's, it's just a lot of information.
Yeah, you got to drill down a little bit, but just go play with it. That's the way to figure it out.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is you can go to the Family History Library, okay, Facebook page, and you can look up whatever you want to know, okay? You can look up how to do that screen, how to look at that, and there'll probably be a webinar on it through the library that you could look at free of charge. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to try. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. I'm having some problems with some of the German sites, looking for the German relatives in very small towns. So I'll go ahead and try that.
Yeah, it especially I would start with the wiki.
Yeah,
okay.
He's great.
Yeah, and
We got a lot of German stuff in wiki.
Okay.
Yeah, just go with the wiki. which is on the bottom. If you go to the first page and it's under search, it's at the last entry under search. Okay, it's one of those that says, I think it's family search and what is it, records, search. I remember all of the blanks, but you'll see it in the upper left. It says search. And then the drop down box will show family wiki at the bottom.
I think you can just do a general search too for wiki.
Okay.
You could too, yes, correct.
Sure. Another, going back to Roots Tech, one of the categories of sessions was on family stories. So any of you are thinking of how you're going to present this information to your family and in all the ways of doing it. There was any number of sessions on how that can be done, and some of them were just excellent. And these are available, I think, probably if you just go into family search, you can then go to these little films or videos are going to be available for anybody. So it's definitely worth going through. The other area I was really interested in is photos, because I have probably tens of thousands of them, it seems like, photos and slides. And right now I've been getting together a box of 500 slides to send to scanmyphotos.com. And so it's figuring out which ones you're going to send and so forth. And then, so I've been doing a lot of slide looking and slide scanning, and there was a lot of help. There's something called Vivid Pics. Has anybody ever stumbled across this?
Right. Yeah, I've seen it. It's been advertised a lot.
Yeah, I was going to ask, does anybody have any experience with that? Because they talked about that.
What is it?
Yeah, it's a it's a software that fixes your photos. I mean, it can bring, supposedly, they let you 10. I haven't tried this yet. I need to do it. It's take 10 photos that you think need fixing, like too dark or too old or too faded or whatever, and try it on their software and see what happens.
You can also do it on your computer yourself, or you can, most of the software programs, genealogy programs, have minimal amount of fixing.
Yeah, see, they say it's minimal. They talked about that how their whatever they use are so much more improved on what you can get. For example, I mean, I use Picasa all the time, which is pretty good actually. It can fix color and blemishes and all kinds of things. But this Vivid Pic sounds sounds excellent.
To try that.
Yeah, it's not free, but it's but you can try these 10 pictures for free to see what you think.
Sounds good.
Yeah, because I think there was isn't MyHeritage running a sale on it right now?
On Vivid Pics?
Yeah, I think so.
No, well, they have their own thing. MyHeritage has their own way of fixing.
Do they? Okay, all right. Somebody's running a sale on it. I can't remember who it was.
Then there's something called Shotbox. Have any of you encountered this one? Dave, did you see a demo on that one?
No.
Yeah.
It's a you buy it. It costs $169, but it's a portable light box that you set up like on a table, and with its own lighting and so forth. And it fits like if you have scrapbook pages that you would want to scan or anything, it fits like it's about 4 by 15 or something like that. So you can put any kind of media in there, newspaper articles, documents, journal articles, letters, and you put your smartphone on top and click and just takes the picture, but it set up this lighting. And again, that's another demo you can watch on this at Roots Tech. So I'm sure that's available. It's called Shotbox, and I would definitely watch some of the demos. But they put, and it folds down, so it's very compact for storage. And then you just raise it and put it on like a table and set it up, and you've got your little photo studio for
There's also a thing called Scannable, which is an app on your iPhone, free app. Yeah, and you say you want to do a page, okay? Whoop, where'd it go? Well, wherever it is. I can't. Well, wherever it is, and you just basically, it's almost like taking a picture of it, okay? But it scans it and it gives you the box that it's going to scan. So it outlines it in blue, so you know what you're scanning, okay? And then once it goes in the computer, you can save it to Google, or you can save it to iCloud, or you can send it to yourself, you know, or send it to your email it to somebody or share it. So, and I think that one's free also. So that's a good one too. But it's one page at a time. That's the only thing.
Well, you know, Tom, I use my flatbed scanner for just about all of my scanning, whether
So
it be
do I.
photos or whatever.
I do too.
And I can get resolution that is unbelievable if you want it.
I use my printer. I just use my printer. It's got a scan feature on it, and I use that.
And I save them and put them in the program, and and that's free if you've already got it.
Right, exactly. It's an automatic.
And then you can like I let my Mac do all the touch up if I want, or I've got a couple of other apps on my other stuff that I use too.
Then I saw something, I haven't tried it, but it says that you can take a slide and put it up to a bright source behind it. And there's an app that will actually take a picture of that. Okay.
Oh.
And scan it. Now you got to go through one at a time. Okay. And then it becomes a JPEG, and you can make it changes to it just like a regular JPEG, which you can do with any, with Windows or probably Mac.
Yeah, anything works on a JPEG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Anything works on a JPEG.
My scanner has a thing you can put on it, and I can do it copies 4 slides at once.
Yeah. I have a regular
and
slide. I have a regular slide scanner too, but I've done some of that, but that gets boring.
Well, it does.
It takes a lot of work to touch them up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It takes a long time to do 4 slides. It takes a long time.
I think we did 500, and that was a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Of course, 500. What is it? What do they charge you? 10 cents a piece? 20 cents a piece?
Oh, to have it done commercially?
Yeah.
Oh, scan my photos? No, I don't know. It's expensive.
It's
we send the box in
40, 50 cents a picture. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I found
it's expensive, but Dan found all of his German slides from when he was stationed there in Berlin in the 1960s. And then he also found his slides that from Africa when he went there as a college student. So they're a huge number. So we're going to send them there because they were in excellent shape. They're Kodachrome slides, and they retained their color, which is just amazing.
Kodachrome does,
Kodachrome was excellent. Boy, Ektachrome is horrible.
Ektachrome doesn't last long. No. Nope.
Wow, those are good, interesting tips to look those things up.
But if you got time, I highly recommend to you to try this. Go to the Roots Tech 2021, I think it's .org, or maybe .com, I can't remember. But anyway, and it's a website, and then go from there, okay? But you do need to have an ID on Family Search, which of course is free.
It's free.
Yes, free. It doesn't cost anything, so.
Oh, there was one more thing I should mention. There's something called Goldie May. Did you see that one? It's a research assistant. It's it's like a scan your page in a way. It logs on when you're doing research. It logs the page, and then you can, and it will keep track. You can save all of the, like if you have a bunch of open tabs because you're doing research, it'll save all that so you don't have to keep them open, or you remember which tabs you had. There's several features to it. It sounds excellent. They were demonstrating it with Family Search.
What's the name of it?
And so you're doing it's called Goldie May, GOLDIE MAY. You can look at the demo on the Roots Tech thing about it. It sounds wonderful, actually.
What was when you mentioned that scans slides through the window? Was that the scannable app?
Yeah, Tom, what was that?
No, that was, I don't remember the name of the app. It was a different thing, but that I just saw it.
Just
Okay,
look
click
up
on the
scanning
phone.
slides on your
Yeah,
app
I will.
stores. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't remember what that one was. Okay. Because I didn't pay any attention to it. I just saw it and I thought, oh, that sounds interesting, and went on. I figured I'd get two or three more emails about it. You know, you know how that is. You open up something, you get two or three females, yeah, two or three male emails from then on. So
Yeah, I know.
Well, great. Do you have anything else to add to all of this? I'm gonna look up a whole lot of these when I get.
Yeah. Yeah, those demos, if you, it's called Demo Theater. That's the name of this series of them. You can look at all the demos that they have there.
and
Yeah.
Laura, you put on the website, at the library website for our meeting, you did put the Roots Tech website there. So that'll get you in
Right.
there. You click on that, just go to the, you know, our webpage there.
Yeah,
And click on that, and that will get you in what you need as far as Roots Tech. And then, of course, once you want to get somewhere, it's going to ask you for your ID, but even so, that's.
Yeah, and in the tab, the section that says Expo, if you click on that, then they have a search place. So you could put Goldie May, for example, and it will take you right to a demo of Goldie May.
oh, there's so many interesting technologies out there.
Well, they said they had 1 million people visit that site those 3 days.
Really?
1 million people.
Because didn't they say 500,000 people were registered for it?
500,000 were registered, and yeah, as opposed to like 30,000 that was attending normally. So it's 500,000 registered. My goodness. Okay.
It didn't seem to slow down anything. I didn't have any technical problems
No,
viewing
I didn't
anything.
either. I didn't either. So wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for all that information. Anyone want to add anything?
No, but I'd like to ask a question. Not related to that at all, but has anybody ever used on Ancestry the help, or know how much it costs to use that to find somebody?
I have not.
I haven't used
Not
it
either.
either.
No.
I've used the help, but I've not used the help, you know, get a professional to help you.
What were you gonna need help with? Do you have something we could help with?
Well, I don't know. Let's see, my great-grandfather was lost somewheres in Chicago area. And I found his wife, and I had all her information, but she died at 24 in the 1800s. And then he brought the children up to be raised by a grandparent. And as the story went, he went back to work down there. And that's the last I heard of him, except someone had said that he died a few years later because he didn't show up on the next census.
Mhm.
And that's my problem.
Yeah. And big cities are really hard to do research in, I know,
Mhm.
right?
But sometimes you could check city directories. I don't, because they had them back. I don't know how far back they went, but it might have gone back far enough and might lead you to some people that lived around them or what have you.
Well, that's how I found her. And then when she died, and it was in the church record
Okay.
where she was buried. So I got to go there and check that all out. But then, like I say, there was nothing about him at all at the same church or when he went back down to Chicago where he lived or anything. And it isn't like today where people carry identification or anything. So if he did die somewheres, you know, you just don't know.
It's kind of like watching Finding Your Roots, and you see all the historical stuff. These people all just disappeared, died along the roadways or orphanages or what have you, and there's just no records of them.
Mm-hmm.
Really kind of
Just think
frustrating.
just think how many people are buried along the Oregon Trail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just think of that. I mean, gosh.
Well,
You
all
know-
out west. How many people were just thrown along the wayside, you know?
Yep.
We do have a new book on, although I don't know if it's for the United States or England, on finding poor ancestors. Not that he was necessarily poor, but you know, the working class buried in the middle of the city.
Mm-hmm.
You can try newspapers also. That would be one thing to try. Although it's not
Yeah.
easy.
Do you know what year his wife died?
Oh, I don't have it right now. I think it was like 1884.
Oh, okay. So it was after the fire. So
Yes.
that's good.
What was her name?
She was originally Mary Dufek, and she was married to Carl Justine. It was spelled like Justine because it was a Bohemian name, Justein.
Dufek,
Spell-
D-E-F.
That was her maiden name, was Mary Dufek.
Dufek. Okay, not Dusek.
D-U-F-E-K?
Yes.
Oh,
And I do have their whole family.
D-U-S-E-K?
D-U-F-E-K.
Oh, F-E-K. Okay, because I have one that's D-U-S-E-K.
No,
So,
this is D-U-F-E-K.
and they came from.
They were from the Czech Republic.
Yeah,
I
same-
have all their
same thing.
information from over
Same thing.
there on them.
Sometimes
She
it's
was the
just a
oldest
long
child
road of
that-
digging.
She was the second oldest child that came over here with them and then went to Chicago to work and met this person that she married, and they had 3 children. And she died of typhoid.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
And then one was 1, one was 2, and one was 3, and he brought those children up, and the Dufek family up in Door County raised them.
And they never saw the father, or you don't have a record of it?
No. He supposedly went back down to Chicago to work, and that was,
Yeah,
except that, you know, the story was that he died a few years later, but I don't have any proof at all of anything.
yeah. Have you looked in any
The
Chicago?
trouble is that 1890 census is gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were on the 1880 census. That's the last census I have of them.
well, I wrote down the names. If we find anything, I'll let you know.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if anybody had used anything like that to get somebody to help them.
Do you know what religion he was?
But she was buried at the Catholic Church in Chicago.
Okay, you might try I think there's probably a way of getting to the church records for the Catholic Church by contacting the diocese there in Chicago.
Family Search has the Catholic Church records, cemetery records, because I use that fairly regularly.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Chicago area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes Find a Grave will have something too.
Yeah.
Somebody might have put a
Yeah.
comment out there. You never know.
Uh-huh. Well, that was
Yeah.
where I found her, was through the church records.
Mhm.
And I actually went to the cemetery, but it was in their records, but there was no stone. So either there wasn't one or it was a wooden one or something, but there
Yeah.
wasn't one there anymore.
Yeah, I have Bohemians in my side too, on my father's side actually. And in Milwaukee, the Bohemians basically had a church that they went to. It seems like all the Bohemians went to a specific Catholic church. So maybe in Chicago that was true too.
Well, what I did learn in Chicago at the church that, now I don't have the information right here, that she went to was not that where she was buried, because that church, they more buried the Catholic Germans or certain nationalities went to one cemetery and Jay went to the other one
Mhm.
from that particular church. So she wasn't buried right at that church cemetery, but at a different one.
And
But
Carl's
except-
name was C or K?
Pardon?
Carl, the husband, was C or K for Carl?
It was done both ways. Sometimes it was C as Charles and sometimes it was Carl, K-R-A-L.
And Justine, you said Justein.
Pardon?
How did you spell the last name? It was
Justein. Sometimes it's I-E-N and sometimes it was E-I-N.
Sounds German, doesn't it?
It does.
Sorry, I gotta go. Yeah,
Okay.
see you.
Okay.
Bye, Gretchen.
Bye.
Thanks for joining.
Bye, Gretchen.
Bye.
Yeah, I find that
Bye.
big cities are really hard to deal with. I've been looking for someone who was in Door County and I can't find very much on him at all. And supposedly this was modern, you know, past the turn of the century, the 1920s and on. And it's my interest in this crazy camp that they have in Door County. I don't know if anyone heard of it, Adventure Island Camp.
Oh, yes.
Where this character had kids going and they would go out, you know, sleeping in the woods overnight by themselves and this sort of thing. And his name was Charles A. Kinney. So I thought I'd look him up and I'm getting a lot of dead ends in Chicago. He came from Chicago. So I don't know where to go to find more on him. I did find some newspaper articles on a Charles A. Kinney in 1916 in causing trouble at an art school.
Oh,
But I can't find any real records with him. So it's driving me crazy.
One of the things that I found when I was digging through some of my wife's stuff from Chicago is they all followed wherever for work. Could have been the railroads, could have been the new highways they were putting in. And they just never put any roots down. So they bounced around. And so what I ended up finding, one of them was there was a batch of people with the same name living in another state. And I started digging around through that and found some articles, but pretty sketchy. But it's another way to do it.
So Chicago was really a lot of people coming and going,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
It's like the trains.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's interesting. Thank you for bringing that up. Now you're going to get me looking that name up tonight.
oh, good.
Well, Denise wanted to know quickly how to use the screen thing to the clipping to clip articles out of newspapers and things, right, Denise? And
just any kind of tips to get that done.
yeah, I'll quickly share my screen, and we just heard from Gretchen one method. Does anyone do much of that?
Yeah, I use, was it Infra or something like that?
Well, here we have one of the Door County newspapers.
Yeah.
And the thing I use, I don't know if you see this clipping tool right here. You see this? Can everyone see this in my, it's called the snipping tool in my toolbar. And this one is one that they say is going out. They're eliminating it, but it's still here. So basically when you open it, it goes like this, and then you can outline what you want.
Oh, yeah, okay, there's the scissors, yeah.
To do just a snip, and then you save it as a picture file. Now Gretchen just told us another trick, which is a keyboard shortcut, which is apparently the new way to do it. And let's see, she said.
Yeah, yeah, it's called Snip and Sketch.
Yeah,
And it's
so you
put
do
out
the,
by Microsoft. It comes with Windows 10.
so you do the Windows
You hold the Win key down, the Shift
shift
key,
and then
yes,
S.
yeah. So it's
And that
Win,
brings up a similar type of
Shift.
thing. And then you would go like that. So that's without even that snipping tool, just a shortcut. And then it comes up like this. I don't know, I haven't used it, so whoops. I'm not sure how to use it, but we'd have to practice, right? Have you used it,
Yeah.
Tom?
no, I haven't, because I used another one called InfraView, but now that I see the Snip and Sketch, I'm gonna try using that for sure.
It seems to do the save to the clipboard, and then
I don't
There's a
think,
snipping tool that Gretchen talked about a while ago in Windows. I use that all the time. It creates a JPEG.
Yeah, here we have it then, Snip and Sketch, as opposed to the old snipping tool, clipping tool. And the Apple computers have a similar sort of tool built in. They always had. And if you want, you can just do a
I'm not sure you
screenshot
can.
too. Yeah, go on.
I'm not sure you can probably use that on a Zoom meeting. In a Zoom.
The different,
No, the Snip and Sketch. I'm not sure you could probably use that. Maybe you can. Did you get it to work on this?
Yeah.
On the
It
Zoom?
worked. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Did everyone see it or not see it?
I didn't see it. I didn't see where you got anything.
So yeah, maybe it's not showing up. Sorry.
Yeah.
So anyway, try it out. Write down that shortcut and try it out and see what you come up with.
You can go to the mic, you have Windows, right, Denise? You have the Windows?
No, actually, I don't.
You have a Mac.
No, I have a normal kind of like Dell computer, but when I bought it, I didn't put Microsoft on it. It comes with the LibreOffice suite, which is, I don't know how to describe it, but it has kind of like an Excel version on it, a Word and everything. So
that's just that's just the Office suite.
Right, you have to have some kind of operating system, Windows operating system.
Yeah, you probably have Windows 10, right?
No, I don't have Windows. I don't have the Microsoft package. The package
you're talking about the tools, but what operates your computer?
That I don't know. I mean, I would, I didn't buy a subscription for Excel or Windows.
No, that's different.
No, this is just that comes with you. You've probably got Windows on there.
So it's possible I do have it, I just, am used to.
When you look at your desktop screen, okay, down in your bottom left side, in the corner, do you have a little thing that looks like a 4-pane window?
Right, I've got that.
Okay.
You have Windows 10.
Then you have Windows 10. If you click on that,
Okay.
you'll come up with all the apps, okay? And if you scroll down through that or just hit S, you'll come up with all the S's. I think, maybe it's Control S, but anyway, just scroll down and go to the S's. And one of the S entries is Snip and Sketch.
Okay.
And that's the one we're talking about.
Okay.
And that's just a free app.
Free thing.
No charge. You don't need it because it's on Windows.
Okay. All right. So I'll just look there then, and I can play with that. So
Yeah, use those shortcuts that Gretchen mentioned.
Yeah, that's the
Windows key, the Shift key, and the S.
Right.
And play around with that.
I will. Okay.
Now, anyone want to mention anything else in that line? If not, I'm going to show you this strange.
I got to see this thing here. I got to see your spooky thing that you got.
My Heritage. Has anyone tried the My Heritage tools that they come out with?
No.
I don't have a paid My Heritage account, just free, and so I get a kick out of their tools that they came up with. First, they were enhancing photographs, as we mentioned earlier. Then they were doing colorization, so you could take old family pictures and they colorized them, and some of them worked better than others. I'm not sure what quality of photograph made a difference, but the latest one they just came out with, I think the beginning of this week, is called Animating Old Photographs. So I'm going to show you because it's very strange. So, let me go back here to, here's My Heritage. And this is where you would create a free account, and they only give you like 5 free ones, and then they want you to pay, but I have multiple free accounts, as I always do. So you would come here and you would go to Animate Photos. Here's where you could colorize. I don't know if they're still giving, I think they still let you do some free colorized ones and enhanced ones. But this came out in the beginning of the week, and I heard a story on National Public Radio saying that interviewing the man who was the CEO or whatever, he said 5 million people have used this tool in the first 5 days it came out. And they're doing all sorts of things besides family photographs. They're doing paintings, Mona Lisa, that sort of thing. So here's how it works. You come here and you upload a photo, and I've brought a few photos from my family. Let's see, I put them on the desktop.
I see what you mean.
Okay, here's some of my old family photos that I put in. And let's try one that I haven't done yet. Here's my great aunt Mabel as a young girl. I only knew her as a very old lady with a cane. And it does this. Takes a minute. This one wasn't colorized, it's just black and white. Yeah. Longer here than it did at home, to be honest. But okay, then what I do is I download them, and I'll put it on the downloads folder, because if you don't, you might, I don't know if it'll go away or not, but this is what happens.
Oh, I
Isn't
can see it moving.
isn't that spooky?
Look at that. Holy cow.
Oh, my
That is-
goodness.
That is wild.
I think it's really bizarre. And so I did a bunch of them here. So I'll show you some that I've done. Like, here's my grandmother. This is how I knew her, as this older lady. And here she is as a young girl. This is the photograph I have of her. She came from South Dakota, the Plains. Her mother died when she was 14. So I did hers, and here's what they came up with. It focuses on the face only. So look at that. I just think that's so fascinating and strange.
Oh, my goodness. It's almost scary.
Yeah.
That's what I say. It's
It's not,
spooky.
oh, is yours doing something? Mine's not doing anything.
Yeah, here's another one. So you see, it does focus on the face. This is my great-great-grandmother. She was a dressmaker, and look at that gorgeous dress, but it does tone it down to, it just picks up the face, and I think it uses AI technology that they use in animation. And there she is. So I wanted you guys to see it so you could just play around with it a little. At first, I thought it was shocking to me, so I didn't want to do it for a while after I tried it, and then I quit being afraid of it and tried some more. So I have a whole bunch of them. So this is another, this is the same lady that I showed you who's the dressmaker as a very young girl. And
I
here
don't,
she is.
does everybody else have that? I don't have that.
I'm not seeing anything other than the original one.
Yeah, that's all I'm seeing
Oh,
too.
so you're not seeing these pictures?
No,
No.
just see the original one and it stopped.
Oh, that's too bad. So you mean
But
the
we
one
did
where I
see- we
did it
did
with
see
my
her.
heritage?
We did see her eyes move.
Yeah, we saw my hair, the first one, but that's the only
Okay.
one I've seen.
Let me try another one quickly so you can see it. Here's my grandfather as a little child. Let's see how this will work. I'm sorry, I thought you were seeing what I'm seeing on
No.
my screen. I guess I have to highlight it somehow.
I think you have to run it through I probably have to run it through the My Heritage page to get it to work.
Separately.
Or you know what, when I do the share screen, I have to click directly on it through share screen, I think.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
It's frightening, isn't it?
Wow.
The eyes don't always quite pick up. You see how the eyes are a little bit off there?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Little smile.
I'll try one more. This is the same boy, only a little bit older than my grandfather. So you see, you take the whole picture and it just pulls up the head. It's looking for the eyes, obviously, and the nose and the mouth. And then they've probably recorded people with different expressions.
Let's see how that one works, because it's not getting the top of his head. So let's see what happens. Oh, it did. Okay.
So it's mainly focused, but it eliminates the bottom part of the picture. So they
Wow.
all kind of blink and then they look around and then they all slightly smile. So give it a try and see what you come up with.
All right.
Wow.
I would recommend downloading them. They do save them under your photos here. But I would recommend downloading them just so you have them if you want to keep them. I showed my siblings and they were amazed by it. So I've put some in here. So that's what I wanted to show you.
Well, to see them smile, because on those old pictures, nobody ever smiled.
Yeah.
Right. That's true.
And to see them, like my grandmother, who I only knew as very, very old, and my great aunt Mabel, and to see them as young people and a little bit moving, even if they look kind of lifeless, they're like soulless characters. It's like a book that I read recently called Ready Player 2, where they learned, it's science fiction, and they learn to download your DNA and then reproduce you through some sort of technology. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of frightening. So, yeah.
I saw something in an article in Wall Street Journal just to mention where things are going. You know, we're using Zoom here, okay, right now. Well, this Zoom is going to be obsolete, okay, in a few years. In fact, it probably already is, for that matter. The latest thing is called hologram technology. So what they do is they create a hologram of you, and so if you go to a meeting, you can put yourself in at the table at a meeting with all the other people, are all holograms, okay? And they are, of course, recording, you know, and showing what they're doing. So if one of the people is scratching his head, you know, that's how in real life, that's how he'll show up, or she'll show up on the hologram at the meeting. Yeah, I mean, they can do it already. It's just costs too much money. It's like $3,500 if you got, you know, if you got an extra $3,500 sitting around. And so that's what everybody's going to be able to do. They can even take you, and if you want to go to a big conference in a conference hall, they can even take your hologram and put you in a seat, okay? And you can hear someone talking behind you and what the hologram is saying behind you, okay? As well as watch the holograms of the presenters up on the stage, okay? Whatever the presenter is up on the stage, the hologram will show that. So that's where, you know, that's where we're going to be.
Well, it's kind of fun to do it with our ancestors.
Yeah, that would be, yeah.
To sort of imagine what they were like, even if it's not exactly right. But anyone else have anything to talk about this week?
Did you want me to show that family tree maker, Laura?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to share your screen?
Yeah, why don't I try that? See if
It's
it
ready to
works.
go. You should be able to share it.
Come up?
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I said once upon a time that I was not overly enthused about the family tree maker after they went through a bunch of changes. And they've come out with well, this is a 2019 version, but it's been updated to 2020. And they had a special because of Rootstech, so I decided what the heck, for 40 bucks I'd buy it and see what it does. And I have to say I am extremely impressed by it, both from what it used to do and how fast it operates and how thorough it is. And it was just, it just amazed me. So I thought it might be worth, I'll just put my tree up. This was the opening page, and this is my family tree that I'll just run through real quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time, but you can move through people on this thing very, very quickly. That goes to my dad real fast. Go back to myself or my daughter here, and you just go back and come back up. I'm the home person, so you just go to your home person, and it goes like that. So that part of it is, and then over on the right-hand side is where you can change all of the information if you want to, and then you can get a more thorough picture of an individual with all the facts. You can get a timeline if you want, different relationships. If you want to add some facts that maybe you found, there's a whole ton of them here that you can go through. it's just amazing what they have done now with this, back to the tree. But I can go to the media for myself. These are all the pictures. And they're all in this category. And if you want to add pictures to different people, you just go to the media, pick a picture up. This is my grandmother. I've already got her in there. And I can just link to a person or multiple people. It just happens instantaneously. It's very smooth. Got all of your sources. You get all of the, I didn't want that one. Find something that's interesting here. Iowa marriages. You can find all the people that you want. Go to the media. They have it all there. If you have it. We're doing some other ones. Goes to places. Maps out all the cities and the states and the countries that you have people in. These are all the different places we have people in our tree.
So you didn't have to enter all that so much as it just lists them.
Well, it had all been entered over time in the
Mhm.
past, but it just puts it all together so you have it this way.
Mhm.
Like I say, I found that, trying to find your sources, if you want to go look at 1900 census, here's all the, fingers. Here's all of the different pages or the enumerations out of the 1900 census, and it's all there. I can look it up, and if I got the media, get a picture of it, bring it up. And if there's any notes I don't have any notes there, but if I go back to my dad, I can show you. Let me see here. These are some things about my dad. We always wondered where he got his job when he came from South Dakota after the war. And when I was digging through a city directory, I found a brother of my great-grandmother, and a child of my great-grandmother that lived in Madison, and he worked at the dairy, and that's how my dad must have got his job, because that's where he ended up working. So there was just lots of information. You keep your notes down here. And again, all the media you have for each person is there as well as you can do it. And then the sources are over here. Like I say, it's so fast. This thing just flies. Here's all your publishing. If you want to do it, you can set up I put a few years ago, I set up a pedigree for each one of the people in our tree. So I could go through and track them, and then I had a piece of paper to work off of, so I could do my research to verify things or expand upon it or go to the next person if I needed to. So that worked. Get this out of the way.
So you've been doing this for a while, and this is the latest version of the software?
Right, but I was using Ritz Magic, and then with all of the things I've been trying to do with version 8, and it's really not been, I haven't found it as thrilling to use as I had thought it would be. So I had a chance to go back to this, and I thought I'd try it. The other thing they have is their web search.
Mhm.
And my dad happens to be the person that's up, so it automatically pulls him up. I can search at Ancestry. It's already hooked into it. It's already hooked into Family Search, so I can just go and they'll bring everything in that I want to save. I got Roots Web, same thing. And then American Ancestors that we were talking with Gretchen. I've got it here. I'm already logged into it, but they do not have a direct link with it. So I'd have to put the information in, but it brings it up and I'm already logged in, so I don't have to do anything on it. So
it connects it very easily once you're there.
right, very easy. It's so self-explanatory. You can do all sorts of things here. Edit people, manage different things, go through, look at all your sources. They'll all come up and you can do what you want with them, look at them, clarify
What year
them.
did you say that was?
Pardon?
What year of Family Tree Maker is that?
Well, Family Tree Maker 2019.
Now, did you have an older one that you could put your things in and it went to that then?
I had well, it was interesting. I had an older version. I think it was Family Tree Maker 3.1 or something. And so I could not directly import my database to this program. But they had it set up so I could just put it into a quick GEDCOM, and then it picked everything up right off the GEDCOM.
Oh.
So what you see here is everything I had from before, but I had to do it through a JEDCOM. And I double checked all the data. Go back to the plan here. This tells you a little basics of your tree, like 1,007 people, 295 marriages, but I can also find more out about how many surnames there are, facts, places, sources, citations, that type of stuff. And another thing they have, if I can find it here, yeah, they have this Soundex. If you remember, we've talked about this. Here's a name for like an Osterhaus. And if I want to find out what sounds like it or is close to it, when I click on it, some other spellings come up.
Oh,
HUS. Well, that's the way they spelled it in Germany.
Mhm.
And then they, I don't know, they westernized it when they came to the United States. So,
So this is
Yeah.
all saved on your computer. If you change computers, how would you transfer it?
well, this is all saved. It's saved on a file. I have a backup file. Every time you close it out, it does a backup.
Mhm.
And I also then will back it up to the iCloud. I put it in a folder that gets backed up to the iCloud. So if something would happen, I can just download it from the iCloud.
Okay,
And then periodically, I usually dump it on a flash drive or something and throw it in my desk or in one of our security boxes, just to make sure I have something in case the world comes to an end. You just never know.
yeah,
Okay.
Look what happened down in Texas,
Yeah.
Who would have thunk?
I
But,
have a question, just so that I understand this. This is just a separate family tree program, computer
Yes, it's a
program?
standalone program that is on your computer. You can put it on on an app. So you have
Right.
access to it on an app. They've got what do they call it? A tree vault or something like that. And you get a few months free and then you got to pay to keep it up. But the
Okay,
simplest way is I can just go over here on the far right side and see the Ancestry
right,
logo. I can upload this tree to Ancestry. Now I have another tree on Ancestry, so I have to take that off first.
okay,
And I'll upload this there. And then anytime I do any work on here, or if I'm on my iPad and I do some work on my Ancestry tree through the app, it will automatically update my program here the next time I log in.
okay.
And
Okay.
that becomes another backup of your tree.
Okay, so then you've got this computer program and then you still have your ancestry tree. And so this
Yeah.
computer program talks to your ancestry tree. And so if I would go into Ancestry, I would see my ancestry tree, the
That is
way it
correct.
looks. Okay, okay.
It's
Because
really, I'm just amazed at how this used to be a very sluggish, excuse me. We just got our last COVID shots yesterday, so I think we're starting to have some reactions to it, but
okay,
yeah, this used to be very sluggish. It wasn't quite as smooth to work through. And let me tell you, I just sat down on it and just was amazed at how well it
Yeah.
worked. So I'm very pleased with it. Tom, I know you've spent some time with Roots Magic and their new version 8, and it's just been,
Yeah,
how many
well,
years have they been working on it? And
Yeah,
I just
actually
decided I would try this.
Okay.
quite disappointed so far with Roots Magic, to tell you the truth.
It wasn't very good. I had more problems and still have
But
problems. So
it's taken a long time to upgrade, and I'm sure I just don't know who's doing it. How many people he's got working on it, because it's been taking a long time to upgrade that.
what, 3.5 years maybe?
Oh yeah, and I'm sure he's losing business. And looking at this Roots Family Tree Maker, I'm going to check it out and see.
It was
I'm
40.
just
It was
quick.
$40 as the spec. It's normally $80. It was 40. It was half price, $40 for the
Yeah.
Roots deck. I don't know if it's still available, but I'm sure it
Yeah, I
will
got
be.
to check that out.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I'm going to do when the meeting ends.
So
Yeah.
like I said, I was just surprised, Tom, because I had been disappointed when they separated from the original Family Tree Maker, and they just kind of left everybody in the
Yeah,
wind.
right, exactly.
And it was based out of Eastern Europe,
Right.
Estonia or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I see they're based out of the East Coast, New Jersey or New York now.
Okay.
So-
I liked how quick, like you said, how quick everything moved.
Oh, it just flies.
And I liked also now it looks like it tied into Fold 3 and newspapers. I saw that listed down at the bottom.
Oh,
Um,
I can pull this back up here if you want,
right.
but no,
Those are Ancestry products.
right. They're all, yeah, they're not directly, these links are just if you want to go to that website, that'll take you to the
okay.
website. It's not like remember I showed you on the web search here, the Ancestry and the Family Search
Right.
are directly linked. So if you find something on Ancestry or Family Search and you want to save it to your tree,
Right.
you can do it automatically and it'll pass in all the sources and citations automatically.
Okay.
But you need to have an account on Ancestry.
Right.
If you're
right,
going to do
okay.
that with Ancestry, yes, you have, and you can't use the library one. That's the drawback. So I'll probably be like you, Tom, using more of Family Search than I will Ancestry.
Okay.
Now, the other thing
Alright.
with Family Search is that they will then take your tree and your tree from your computer and they'll put them side by side. And you can look at all the facts they have on their tree on
Okay.
Family Search and the tree you have on your computer.
Okay. So then if you had information like from Genealogy Bank, which has got just a ton of the articles, you'd basically have to save that onto this.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So, like I said, I was surprised, as I was going through people, if I want to go here and go back to myself, there's my dad, my great grandfather. If I want to go see Franz, what he's up to, just the arrow, boom, there he is. I've never seen anything go this fast in any program.
Did
Okay.
you have to upload all of the censuses and all that yourself, or?
Nope, all of my census and all that came either from Family Search or Ancestry.
And it pulled it right in when you went there.
Right. Now, one of the things we were talking about, this is a scary picture.
Yeah, you should animate that one.
I think that's a great grandfather of mine. Yeah, I'd like to animate that one. But here's our photo darkroom. And I can go over here
Oh,
and
wow, look at
I can
that,
do brightness, contrast,
Okay.
saturation. I can sharpen it up. I can brighten it,
right in there.
contrast it, do it, moderate repair if there was some problems with it, maximum repairs, brighten it up a little more. You can do a lot of things.
Okay.
And it
So-
always saves your original picture, even though you update it. So you never lose your original.
Okay. So you pretty much have to purchase this and you have to purchase it every year, or is it a one-time
Nope,
buy? or-
one-time deal. Now, probably every 3 years, they may have a major upgrade. They
Okay.
might charge you $20 or $25 for the upgrade.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I think this is my third time I've ever bought a family tree maker program. So
Yeah. I like how fast it is and how everything is organized. I like that.
oh, it is. This is the one thing they've done that I think Roots Magic. They're trying to make something that's available to master professional genealogists rather than the run-of-the-mill people like us. So,
That's pretty interesting, yeah.
yeah, I just thought it was worth sharing for a few minutes, Laura.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, very
definitely.
much.
Very interesting.
We
Yeah.
used it way back when, we first started, but I haven't used it for years now. Because I
No.
tend to do work with my sister, and I guess you would be able to share it through Ancestry, the tree there.
That's what I've done. Is you can invite whoever you want to see your
Right.
tree on Ancestry. Even if you don't have a paid subscription, you can still have your tree there and you can invite, my kids and my cousins and my brothers and that. I give them links so they can go in and look at the tree. They can't change anything on it, but they can look at it.
Mhm.
Well, thank you for
Yeah, it was
telling us
good.
that. We've been wondering about it.
Yeah, I was just impressed with it. So,
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's great.
Okay, it's over an hour now, so if does anyone have anything else to add?
No.
Well, thank you for coming, and I'll see you in a
Yep.
couple weeks.
All right.
Thank you.
2 weeks, right?
Thank you.
Okay,
Yep,
thanks,
18.
Laura.
Thanks,
Now, thank you.
bye.
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 Thanks, everybody.